Disney, Coca Cola and Supreme have no picture logo, so in this video I'm gonna design a picture logo for each, starting with Disney. So I took the Disney logo and I'm using the Disney Plus logo for this because I feel like it's better. And I took the Disney Castle and I just selected it and cut it out. And then I played around with the opacity and the hue saturation. Then I had to convert the image into a vector and select an image of Mickey Mouse to use in this logo because I'm going to use the two most iconic things about Disney, and namely the Disney Castle and Mickey Mouse's head. At the end you're gonna see the way I combine them, and guys, it is brutal. You don't want to miss it out because I experimented a lot and I think I got a really good final result with this logo. So right now I'm just tracing over the Mickey Mouse head because I want it to be something original, guys. Right, take this circle, a bit like an egg. This looks a bit like my head when I have a haircut, like an egg. We're gonna take this, duplicate it on the other side, and then we're gonna duplicate it below. So now we've got the castle and the Mickey Mouse, and I just experimented with a few different positions of Mickey Mouse's head. So I turn him around, there we go. I cut off a bit of his head. Goodbye. Yep, goodbye, we don't need that. So cut off a bit of his head to make it into a semicircle. Now we're gonna make his head fat at the bottom, and now it looks like melted lava. So we're gonna take this head, and now we've got half of Mickey Mouse's head. Yes, we've taken half of Mickey Mouse's head, guys, and we're gonna think of an interesting way to combine it with the castle. So I tested out a few different ways. This just looks disgusting with the castle on top. It looks like a unicorn, but it's Mickey Mouse and it just looks wrong. So then I took it and I rotated it. I tried to cut it into Mickey Mouse, which didn't turn out good either. So what I did in the end was I made it big. I put it underneath his head, right? And then I united the two objects. So what I ended up with was the castle on top and the head at the bottom, which is a really good combination of the two logos, or the two pictures, to make one full logo, because I feel like it's not conflicting. They work together in harmony that way, but I want to make it symmetric. So I'm going to drag some of the castle to the left, and now I'm going to split the whole logo in two, because obviously Mickey Mouse's ears will be kind of different sizes as well. So I want to make sure this is really equal on both sides. Nice bird in the middle there. Bye, bird. And we're gonna make this into one full logo, guys, and you're gonna see how it turns out at the end, because this is not the complete version. Made it even better. Oh, shrink Mickey Mouse's ears. Come on, man, you don't need such big ears. Who are you gonna listen or eavesdrop to? Make the head a bit rounder. Yeah, remove some of those nodes to make the logo smoother. And then we're gonna add some colors, some of Disney's modern color scheme of blue, so light blue and dark blue, and I'm literally selecting them with the eyedropper tool from the Disney Plus logo, from its background. So we've selected the correct colors, and now I think I want to make the border between the two colors a bit more pronounced, so that there's a clearer border between the castle and Mickey Mouse's head. I think that will offer a very good separation from one to the other and make the logo really good. And no, guys, I haven't gone insane. I'm not turning it white for no reason. This was to add a glow at the back, and this glow is going to make the logo stick out on top of the same color background, which I'm going to put it on in a bit. So I'm going to select all of my work. Now I'm going to add to this background because it's really small. And I like this logo, guys, not gonna lie. I think it turned out pretty well. It's probably my favorite out of this video, although the other two are still really good. So it's Mickey Mouse's head combined with Disney Castle to make an iconic Disney picture logo, which they need because they clearly haven't got one. Now the next company that I'm going to make a picture for is Supreme, and I didn't know what they did. Apparently they make skateboards and other streetwear, graffiti, kind of vandal, well, I wouldn't say vandal things, but that's what I connote graffiti and skateboards with. So I'm going to start by adding a rectangle here to make into my skateboard, and duplicate, no, not this, right, rotate, no, not the video, come on, right, there we go, we fixed it. And now this took quite a long time to do, guys, so bear with me, but I've sped it up, don't worry guys, stop worrying. Right, this is gonna turn out good, I promise you, and if it doesn't turn out good, you can dislike this video, and you can unsubscribe to the channel, that's fine. So, what I'm gonna do now is, I wanna make the scared board, yeah, the scared board, it scares me to be honest, at the moment, so I'm gonna make this scared board, twisted at the end, so it's kind of bent over. So the end of the skateboard is actually bent over at the end, and it's not just one board, but it's actually taking the end and bending it all the way over. So it's kind of like a folded piece of paper, but it's actually a skateboard, which I think is going to have a really good look at the end, and it's going to make this skateboard seem much more fluid, much more abstract, and better, because it's going to be folded at the end. It's not going to be just a regular plank of wood with wheels on it like normal skateboards. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Supreme because I don't do skateboards, I'm not that type of guy, but if you are, this is gonna be really exciting for you because the logo turned out pretty good, I think, different to what I imagined, but basically I'm gonna make this skateboard a bit rougher at the end, so it's less smooth, so I'm gonna add some straight lines to it, and now I'm gonna add some snot to the skateboard, or the scared board. I'm gonna add some snot to it, guys, because this is street-like, and this is graffiti-like. Well, it looks like snot anyway, it's meant to be graffiti paint. So I'm gonna reformulate it though to make it more believable and a bit more fluid looking. So, ooh, thick. This is quite thick, but we're gonna leave it like that, who cares. Right, now we are gonna continue reformulating this to make it look more like snot, no, not snot, paint, that's what I meant to say. We're gonna make it look a bit more like paint, because you know when you go out of town and you see those old buildings and they're all graffiti, and they've got these random graffiti painted shapes and patterns and lines on them. This is exactly the effect that we're trying to create, guys. So I'm gonna add some perspective to this in order to make it look more realistic, as a truly professional logo should. And as you can see, this took me a long time, that's why Kusti is sleeping. Right, don't let Kusti fall asleep. Like this video, guys, because otherwise Kusti is gonna continue sleeping. So we don't want that, we want him to be energetic and energized and jumping around and helping me, but right now he fell asleep because of this paint task, which took longer than it should have. But lucky you guys, don't worry, because I've sped it up for you. I've sped it up, so you don't have to worry about sitting through 20 minutes of formulating paint. Right, said the correct word this time. Ooh, add a nice little star in here, I like that. I'm with it. I like that wheel, to be honest. And now we're gonna take the wheel which I created and we're gonna bring it to the other side But before we do that, we're gonna add some shines to the paint so it looks more realistic, so it looks more fluid, kind of more 3D, more real, because obviously real paint, especially if it's painted on really thickly, is gonna have shines and shadows and relief. You know, it's not gonna be random and flat, it's gonna have relief on it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add some more staining to the actual skateboard, because it can't be the paint just falling off the skateboard. There's gotta be some paint on the skateboard, right? You're gonna be a real genius to stain your skateboard on the side, but not on the top. So if the sides are stained, then I'm pretty sure the actual skateboard will be stained as well, guys. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to clean this up, but this is how it is. So adding the second wheel, as I said, and now we're just reformulating this stain at the top. We're gonna cut away a part of it to make it look better. Yeah, just look better. And we are almost done with this. I'm pretty happy, to be honest, and that is the picture logo Supreme, a folded skateboard stained with not a paint and 2 wheels in the Supreme colors, obviously following the color scheme and everything. And swiftly moving on, guys, I'm pretty pleased by that Supreme logo, I'm not gonna lie, but we're carrying on with the exact same color scheme, and namely Coca Cola. So Coca Cola, just one of the brands that popped into my head, which doesn't have a picture logo. It relies on its font and on its text to be recognized. And I looked up how cola nuts look, and apparently these are cola nuts. Some of the nuts that Coca-Cola, hence cola in the name, are made of. So I want to incorporate this into my design. They kind of look like pizza slices. Oh, it makes me hungry. Maybe I should order some pizza. Then 3 nuts and 4 nuts, guys. There we go. We've got 4 beautiful cola nuts, which are ready to be made into a logo. And I think this is going to turn out incredible, guys. And it does. So at the end, it's not what I expected, but it's a pretty good logo, I think, which represents Coca-Cola. I got angry because now we're just spending a ton of time formulating nuts and just playing around with nodes to make everything perfect and smooth. But that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do, guys, because if you want a good logo, it's gonna take a long time. Rotate this a bit, because nothing worth having comes easy. Remember this, guys, remember this. Nothing worth having comes easy. So at the moment we got this bottle, it actually came easy for me because I just downloaded it off the internet. But I'm gonna change its thickness, so we're gonna make it more thick, and then we're gonna actually cut off the entire bottom section of the bottle because I don't need it. My idea is to put the nuts instead of a bottle and then just have a cap over the cola nuts, which kind of shows the contents of the bottle, because the bottle contains juice which was made from cola nuts, but it also looks like a bottle and a cocoon as well. Yes, I appreciate it does look like a cocoon. Let's take the Coca-Cola colors exactly from the Coca-Cola logo, so they're exactly the colors that we need. And we're nearly done with this, but we've got a few final adjustments, so this is not finished yet. The final one is actually better, so I got a really good idea as I was making it. So we're gonna split it down the middle, right, and now we're gonna make it in 2. We're gonna make it in 2 halves, so 1 red half and 1 white half, which just after we make it symmetric, right? Come on, nodes. There we go. Now it's symmetric. And now we're gonna remove the outlines of these nuts. Bye. Right? And now I want to make it like it's 2 hands clutching a bottle. So I'm gonna add some white to the side and some red to the other side, so it kind of looks like 2 hands clutching a bottle, or 2 snake teeth eating the bottle. I don't know, whichever one you prefer. but I think it's better to imagine them as hands with only 2 fingers. I guess they're alien hands. I guess aliens discovered Coca-Cola, supposedly. And also, if you're asking how I know that cola nuts are included in Coca-Cola without having the secret recipe, well, maybe I have the recipe. Maybe I have the recipe, guys. Maybe I'm one of the 2 people in the world that know the recipe. Or maybe not. 99% chance I'm not. So, but I took it from the name. I took it from the name Coca-Cola. And that is the final logo. I like how it turned out. So it's basically a bottle with cola nuts. And they can be interpreted as 2 hands holding around the bottle and showing you how popular Coca-Cola is, that when you buy a bottle of it, your brother or your sister or your mom, whoever it is, or your dad is gonna come and they're gonna try to get the bottle from you. So that is how it turned out in the end. I'm pretty pleased with this logo. I feel like it's smooth, it presents Coca-Cola well, and I like it, but obviously I prefer the Disney one out of all, and then probably the Supreme one, and then in last place the Coca-Cola one. So these are the pictures I invented for these logos, guys. Share your thoughts in the comments and stay creative. Goodbye.